Breaking news. Appeal court set aside judgment barring Section 84, subsection 12 of the Electoral Act. Remember the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami? Yes, this guy went all the way to Abia State to get a judge to ensure that they take out, the section that says all appointees should resign, okay? All appointees should resign before they go on to any political judgment or position. However, you can see for yourself that there is more to this than beneath the eyes. Okay, after that, the National Assembly took the matter on and took the matter to appeal courts. Now, this is appeal court's judgment, and you get to know what Malami is trying to do because he's trying to be the governor of Kebbi State. Okay, Malami is trying to be the governor of Kebbi State. In fact, he has shared out already 200 million cars. Let's get all the details. In fact, he was making fun of Nigerians, saying he only shared 200 million cars and they are shouting that by the time he gives out airplanes, can you imagine? People are suffering genuinely. Okay, go into the air and let's see how life will be for everybody. Breaking news. Appeal court set aside judgment voiding Section 84, subsection 12 of the Electoral Act 2022. The Court of Appeal has set aside the judgment of the Federal High Court in Umahia, which voided the provision of Section 84, subsection 12 of the Electoral Act 2022. In a judgment on Wednesday in Abuja, a three-member panel of the court, headed by Justice Hamed Bakar, held at the Federal High Court Umahia, had that the judgment of the Federal High Court in Umahia had no jurisdiction to have entertained the case because the plaintiffs lacked the local stance to have filed in the suit in the first place. The applicant court added that Edidi did not establish any course of action to have warranted his approaching the court on the issue because he did not establish that he was directly affected by the provision of that very court judgment. The court, however, set aside the judgment, saying there is no reason why that should have occurred in the first place, and said this has no case. The Court of Appeal struck out the suit marked, the number is there, which Edede filed before the Umahia court. While determining the appeal on the merits, the applicant's court, however, held that the provision is unconstitutional because it violates Section 42, subsection 1A of the Constitution and denies a class of Nigeria citizens their right to participate in election. The judgment was on the appeal marked, the number is there. So this is what is happening. We saw our very own Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, trying to use one Edede to go back and to, resuscitate the case somehow to get into the whole matter. You see, so, but guess what? The appeal court has set it aside, saying this is unnecessary. So there is real serious call for concern. This is, the Attorney General and every one of these people are trying to manipulate the court of the course of the law. And the court, the court has said there is no reason this does not affect the guy. Politics today, you can pay anybody to go to a court and they will tell you this is democracy and what have you. Go and say this affects you in such a way and such a way. And the appeal court has just struck out the case. I really wonder what the Attorney General would do. Because he said, why did you file the case? What's your reason with the Section 84, subsection 12? How does it affect you? You're not a politician. How does that affect you? Say it's deterring Nigerians from participating. Well, the matter has come out now that the Attorney General actually aided and, encouraged him to go in such a way to look out for this case so that, at the end of the day, it will not look as though, he's the only one pursuing it. So he sent just some individual who, the court have seen through that there is no point, okay, for such an individual to be coming out and to be, coming out to say this or that or participating in such a judgment. He said there is no point. You don't have a reason why, you be part of this case at all. You don't have a reason. There's nothing to it. It does not concern you. Why will you approach the court? Is it everything you approach the court for? Why would you approach the court in the first place? So the Attorney General of the Federation, Minister of Justice, however, has been one of the most unjust people who have been going around trying to destroy the very legacy of our very fundamental democratic system. Okay, looking for every way, humanly speaking, possible to ensure, okay, that the democracy of the nation is thwarted, because they have an agenda, and the laws in place, if followed to the latter, will hinder them, prohibit them from getting some of these things. And so we need strong leadership who will enact the law and say this is not possible, these are the premises of the law, it must be obeyed. The laws are there for a purpose. And if the laws are there and they are flaunted and nobody insists on the law being kept, then there is no need for us to have them in the first place. There is absolutely, completely no need. But the Attorney General of the Federation, is doing everything humanly speaking possible to ensure that he has his way. And everybody, those that should speak, the National Assembly, they're slowing down on the matter because of regional sentiment, tribal sentiment, and these are things that have destroyed our democracy in no small way. Where people should stand up and, speak against every evil going on. They are the very people trying to, ensure that, they hold on to things that are not right. And that's why the nation, it is the way it is today. If we want things to change, then we need to work at it. We need to work in one accord, in one face, and be honest. We can't be here and there. We can't be neither here nor there. As it stands today, those who are opposing this country from moving forward are the very people who have been entrusted with the leadership of this country. They are the very people who should be mounting the premise of the law. They are the very people who should see to it that the law is followed to the latter so that there is orderliness. So there's a lot going on right now. There's a lot going on right now. We can't just continue like this. No, we just can't. As a nation, as a people, if we want change, then we need to, reevaluate our values and look at all things critically. That's the only way we can truly forge ahead and make real tangible progress in our day and age where we are today. Leave us a comment. God bless. Bye for now.